everyone. Welcome to the first ever virtual gala for my uncle, Darryl Chappell. I gotta say it, that's my uncle, that's my uncle, that's my uncle, and I'm so very proud of you and the team and the great work you guys are doing. We are so glad to have you here and that you decided to spend a part of your Saturday with us. My name is Terrence Chappell, and I am a supporter of the foundation and its mission of empowering artists to achieve their highest potential. Where would we be in a world without art, right? Especially considering what's going on now. So we definitely need art to not only express ourselves, but make us feel even more connected with one another. So this is what we can expect for today's programming. We will have a video origin story. We'll have some remarks from the founder, chairman, and CEO, a Partner of the Year Award, artist segment, Artist of the Year Award, and of course, how you can support the mission and the great work that the team is doing. And then we'll let you go to enjoy your Saturday. And as Moses is getting the origin story queued up, I do want to remind people, definitely this is being live streamed, this is being recorded, and definitely feel free to participate in the chat, ask questions, make comments, and so
Community.
Foundational.
Potential.
Resilient.
Inspired.
A conduit.
The values of the Darryl Chappell Foundation are simple: integrity, financial self-sufficiency, community, collaborating with partners, with artists, and continuous improvement. My name is Darryl Chappell. I'm the founder, president, and chairman of the Darryl Chappell Foundation. I retired from a financial services company, sold my Washington, D.C. home of 10 years, used the proceeds to actually start the nonprofit Darryl Chappell Foundation 501c3. So the Darryl Chappell Foundation is focused on enabling emerging artists to achieve their highest potential. We do that through focusing on artists in residencies, artist talk series, and we curate an online digital platform for artists. The foundation has a presence at the local level in Chicago, in Syracuse, New York, in Washington, D.C., in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Meanwhile, the impact is global. The Darryl Chappell Foundation Emerging Artist Learning Pathway consists of 4 phases. The 4th phase is to provide an established artist with an opportunity to give back as a mentor. So they serve as a mentor to the artists in residencies. My vision for the future is that the actual visual artists that the foundation supports today will have a chance to actually be in a position to support other artists who are emerging.
My name is Mildor Chevalier. I am a Caribbean artist. I'm from Haiti, and I live and work in New York City. I'm one of the artists who have worked on the Artist Marketplace. I've participated in the Artist Talk series. It was great to have an audience, can have a platform to talk about not only what we feel as an artist, but also our journey and our viewpoint.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Mi nombre es Joyce Alarcón, soy fotógrafa y narradora visual de Ecuador. Es para mí una gran alegría poder compartir con ustedes parte de mi trabajo que está expuesto en el Marketplace de la Fundación Darryl Chappell. Una invitación para que pasen y vean todos los proyectos que compartimos con ustedes a través de esta plataforma online.
Hi, my name is Cecil McDonald, a photographer, videographer, performance artist. My relationship to the foundation is through a COVID emergency grant. I just never thought that during COVID, people would think about artists. And it made you say, oh, now I have to really keep working because there are people who care about the things you're doing.
My name is April Frazier, and I'm an artist. The foundation has been an integral part of these last 2 years in my career in the sense that it's given opportunity for more exposure and exploration of different facets of art. One was being the facilitator of the artist talk between Early Hutnall and John Simmons.
It was so fascinating. My name is Monique Brinkman-Hill, and I'm the Executive Director of the Southside Community Arts Center. We've been around for 81 years with a mission of conserving, preserving, Black art, teaching the community. We were thinking, how can we collaborate? What we came up with is that we would collaborate on his Artist Talk series, and that was a virtual collaboration moderated by April Frazier. It was established Black cinematographers and photographers sharing their stories, talking about their practice and how they work. It just was in so much in alignment with the center and what we do and how we want to celebrate the artists. So it was a great collaboration for us.
Well, it's a great foundation. No, I mean, Darryl Chappell is a wonderful individual who's so committed and responsible and thoughtful. Foundation, I think, immediately brings to mind the financial support, which of course is vital.
I chose to volunteer because I believe in Darryl and I believe in the mission of the foundation. We don't have all the money in the world, but we have some good skills, right? And we can do a bunch of different stuff, and we know like some interesting people. So let's just all combine all of these different things and see where it takes us.
Art is very important in life, even in difficult times. It reflects the society and people's daily life in a different level. So I love arts, even I'm not an artist, but I want to contribute to the art world, especially for underappreciated artists.
Thank you to the foundation for such a great vision, creating a community for Afro-descendant artists and helping artists to achieve their potential and creating some kind of pathway for the ones coming. And I think this is great, and I'm always looking forward for any new endeavors that the foundation is taking and to be a part of it.
Please consider supporting the Darryl Chappell Foundation. This is a prime opportunity to utilize our foundation as a great vehicle to show your passion for art and compassion for underappreciated artists, raise their awareness, truly make a difference for the artists in need.
You're helping a very good foundation from the ground up, and you're gonna help build with us as we go on this journey together.
For more information, please visit our website, darrylchappellfoundation.org.
I just want to say thank you. The fact that an organization like this came through to support, it's no small task, so I'm very appreciative of that, and I just want to say thank you.
And definitely we will hear from the man of the hour, Darryl Chappell, hearing directly from him how he started a foundation and his mission, and looking forward. Definitely we will hear from the man of the
So hello, everyone. It's really glad to be here with you today on a Saturday. Thank you for taking your time out to spend some time with us. So I'm Darryl Chappell. I'm the founder, president, chairman of the Darryl Chappell Foundation. And one question that I get often is, well, why did I start the foundation? And I will share that from the time I was a child, I was exposed to the arts through galleries, through museums. My parents really exposed me to the arts. And so from that very young age, getting a chance to appreciate the power of the arts. And I think that whole early childhood experience then later through academic schools and also through actually working in the business world, having a chance to use the arts to solve business problems as well. So I'm getting a little feedback that there is feedback on this call. So hopefully everybody can hear me okay without too much of an echo.
Is that delayed too, Darryl?
Okay. So I'm going to, we're going to get these technology issues figured out. But meanwhile, we're going to keep the program going. So glad to have you here today. I'm going to hand it over to Board Director Nadia Suleiman, who's going to take the program from here. So Nadia is one of our new board directors. Nadia.
think I was muted. Hi, everyone. I'm Nadia Suleiman, and I'm a member of the Board of Directors of the Darryl Chappell Foundation and active on the program committee. I started volunteering as a board member this past June. I'm an arts administrator and curator and was excited to join the board after learning about the extensive support to artists across the globe, even as such a young organization. The foundation truly centers artists to shape its core programs and understands the importance of supporting arts organizations doing essential work in their communities. I have the honor of presenting the Darryl Chappell Foundation Partner of the Year Award. This year's Partner of the Year Award goes to a nonprofit in Syracuse, New York, that has been supporting artists since 1973. Lightwork's mission is to provide direct support to artists working in photography and related media through residencies, publications, and a community access lab facility. Lightwork has demonstrated the core values of the Darryl Chappell Foundation of collaborating, and therefore, the director of Lightwork, Dan Boardman, is presented with the 2022 Business Partner of the Year Award, dated this 18th day of August, 2022. Congratulations, Dan.
Thank you so much, Nadia, and thank you so much, Darryl. And we are so very humbled and honored to be acknowledged in this way. And this new partnership that we have with the Chappell Foundation is so critical to our mission. And there's so much synergy between the two, what Lightwork is aiming to do and what the Chappell Foundation endeavors to do as well. So I very humbly accept this. It's very nice to be acknowledged in this way. Beyond Darryl and the board, I do want to thank the artists who participate in our program this year or last year. The artists were Jasmine, Clarke, and Gary Burnley. So I want to acknowledge them, and they had a successful residency with us, and through the partnership with the Chappell Foundation, they were awarded $5,000 stipends along with time and space to create new works here in Syracuse. Lightwork is just crossing 50 years starting in January, and looking at over that time the innumerable artists that come through. A lot of time and attention goes into each of those relationships, but it is also important to mention these critical funders who help us achieve our mission along with our staff. And an acknowledgement like this is really, it goes a long way. And I look forward to many years of collaboration, both with the great financial support that the Chappell Foundation provides, but also just collaborative thinking and community building moving forward. So just thanks. I'm very honored and very grateful and thankful. Thank you all.
So thank you. I'm going to jump in here now that I got the technology issues under control. So it happens to everyone, and it happened to me today. I'm just going off a program a little bit. Thank you, Dan, for your partnership and for really, quite frankly, all the work that you've done. Lightwork will be turning 50 years old next year. So this is an organization that has been around for a very long time and has consistently produced results. So we're very, very thankful to be partnered with Lightwork based in Syracuse, New York, and very, very thankful to have been exposed to all the artists and residents who you'll see momentarily in an actual video segment. So Nadia, back to you.
I think it's Terrence, are you up now?
Darryl, you did such a great job on saying my line. I don't have to say anything. All I'm gonna say is all the snaps. Congratulations, Daniel and Uncle Darryl. I'm so proud of both of you, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you both work together and put together. And all I can say is that opportunity and acknowledgement are so important in not just this industry, but in life in general. So it's great to be a part of this and witness it. And I believe we will now hear from the Foundation's recent artists in residence as they have an intimate discussion on the power of art to see the world in a new light.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mo Sumgong. I am the executive assistant here at the Darryl Chappell Foundation. Welcome to the first annual gala. It has been an amazing program so far, and we're excited for this next piece of the conversation, which is a conversation with Jasmine, Clarke, and Aaron Turner, two of the foundation's artists in residence. Jasmine was a artist in residence at Lightwork, and Aaron was a photographer in residence at the Ogden Museum of Southern Art. We're about to share with you a brief conversation that the two of them had to share exclusively with this group here today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support for the foundation, and we hope you enjoyed this conversation.
In preparation for this, I started thinking back to a podcast interview we did for the Photographers of Color podcast back in the fall of 2020, around November or so. We spoke about your work, Shadow of the Palm, which has been in two exhibitions I've curated between the years 2020 and 2022. One iteration was at Blue Sky Gallery in Portland, Oregon. And then the most recent one has been here at the Phoenix Art Museum, as you can see on the screen. And so I'm a big admirer of your work because within the vastness of images produced that we as a society are immersed with, you have a very unique perspective and approach and use of the camera of photography. So to sum up the Shadow of the Palm, and please fill in any gaps that I may be leaving out right now, but you're photographing family, you're thinking about the journey of your father growing up in Jamaica and coming to the States, paralleling you growing up in the States and visiting Jamaica over the course of your life. Shadow of the Palm deals with dreams, it centers around illusion, it deals with the idea of deja vu in your work. So how do you sum up all of that using the camera? How do you have all of those experiences and choose the camera to document and share, to sort through all of those complex dynamics?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having this conversation with me again. I mean, I think of photography and the camera as really a conduit for connection, something that really links, you know, our world to our thoughts. It seems like kind of one of the most direct mediums for that. And I like it, or I say that because I've said this before, but I really do think of photography and the camera as a mirror to our world. So not necessarily a replica. Maybe it doesn't show what is, but it shows different possibilities or what could be. And in that way, it's also a very mysterious medium because of how clear it is at times. You know, it shows us something very close to our world or to reality, but not quite. And I think sometimes there could be an idea that the camera creates a document or is a type of document. But more than that, I'm interested in a pervading mood or tone, or how do you get across a certain feeling, like deja vu or like jamais vu, which would be foreignness and what should be known into an image.
How do you think about everything leading up to the exhibition and then the intentions around sharing your work outside of yourself and personal intentions? And how is that developing moving forward as an individual? Maybe I guess there's like a second question in there, like how do you imagine future installations or future ambitions and intentions as an artist, like when your work goes from you making it to actually sharing it with an audience?
Yeah, it's a great question. It can be tough sometimes, you know, because when you're making the work, I think, or at least for me, I like to be focused on that process, maybe separate from thinking about showing the work. But I think scale has played a big role. So like you said, maybe switching from 16 by 20 to 20 by 25, you know, thinking about the viewer experience or what could be more immersive. So going forward, I think that'll be something that that I continue to think about for future shows, or how to add richness or, you know, lushness to the print or to the surface of an image, as well as depth in a literal sense. You know, how do you make something flat seem dimensional?
Yeah.
And I mean, I also, just going back to those 4 images, the photograph of my Nana's fence with the smoke coming up, I've really attached myself to this idea, you know, again, of like what an image reveals and hides, this top left image. Because you wouldn't necessarily know that smoke is from, you know, cooking jerk chicken in the backyard. That's something that I'd have to say. So I like the idea of what information a viewer is privy to or not, or what do I, you know, thinking about installation, what do I want to keep to myself? I don't normally show faces in a lot of my images. What differences would that make? Or how does that change my relationship to the show or to the camera? Because I obviously take those pictures, but I've noticed that when I'm showing work, it's not something I tend to feel drawn towards.
Yeah.
Which is something I'm still working out, but I'm just thinking about it now. You know, I could see that being worked out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you revealed that about that image, because it can just exist on its own, but it's so interesting because not all the time you'll be able to talk to an artist directly, you know, when you're going to an installation, or even hear them talking about it in some capacity. So just to even have that background information can kind of start to add more dynamic to the image that's already dynamic, just existing out in the world. And that's why I mentioned all those things. Like we just, you know, we go along and we exist as everyday people. We play all these other roles in our lives that kind of intertwine in what we do as artists. And I think like just at least for myself and what I've seen from other people, just the more and more art that you make, and then the more and more like everyday life that you live, the more experiences that you have in life, it starts to really develop how you interact with people, especially as an artist. Like, what do you, like you mentioned, what do you reveal and what do you keep back? And, you know, 10 years from now, this may be a totally different way that you choose to present your work overall. So I really love seeing that type of growth in artists, and kind of that anticipation behind that. So I'm really looking forward to future iterations of your work, and I hope I'll be a part of that. Fortunately, be a part of that. So yeah. But do you have anything else you'd like to add, Jasmine?
Let me think. I mean, maybe I could share a quote that I've been thinking of. Maybe that would be
Sure.
appropriate.
Absolutely.
From an Elizabeth Alexander poem.
Okay.
I'll read it. In sleep, I am looking for poems in the shape of open V's of birds flying in formation, or open arms saying, I forgive you all.
Nice. And so where would you, this might be a bad follow-up question, but they can take it out, leave it in or take it out if they want. But where's that applicable to your practice now? It sounds really like the similar ideas around deja vu, or correct me on the other pronunciation. It's I always get it wrong. Jamais vu. Yeah, it kind of sounds like it's at least in my brain, kind of going back towards those things about the reality in the images and the familiarity in the images, but also like this fictional mirror thing that gets curated. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought I'd share it because I liked what you were saying about, you know, where artists or people in general are a collection of their experiences. And something that maybe we do as photographers is choose where to point the lens or what we want to put forth. And in that way, I sometimes see photography, or at least the way that I like to shoot, as the most similar to poetry, in its form and in the way that the images stick with me. And yeah, and in that way, I think it's related to dreams. But I love this idea of open arms, you know, being like almost like a funnel, ready to kind of take in everything, and maybe output whatever sort of sticks down the funnel as it kind of closes, like a formation of birds.
Yes. I totally get that. And I'm thinking about that again as you're speaking. It makes me think about music.
Mm-hmm.
And I think photography needs, or it benefits from things like poetry and things like music, in various iterations. But yeah, that idea of like open arms, I would say that I do get that from your work. And to just, because that's such a grand, it's like a grand idea. Like when you think about it, it is like, how do you even pursue that? As an artist, as an image maker.
Yeah.
And then I guess the obvious answer is just, you just make more. You just keep making images until you get to that spot that you feel you arrived at. So yeah. But yeah, if nothing else, Jasmine, thank you so much for your time and speaking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. That's great.
All right. Okay.
Nadia, I think you're on mute.
Thank you. It was so amazing to hear Aaron and Jasmine share their personal stories. It was so wonderful to get a glimpse into their work and what a beautiful and critical work they're both doing. The Darryl Chappell Foundation exists to empower artists. That's our one job. In supporting artists, we also think it's critical to acknowledge artists publicly as well. We are delighted to share with you the 2022 Darryl Chappell Foundation Artist of the Year Award. The 2022 Darryl Chappell Foundation Artist of the Year is Brooklyn-based painter Mildor Chevalier. Mildor has been along the journey of the foundation from the very beginning. Mildor Chevalier has demonstrated the core values of the Darryl Chappell Foundation of helping others and collaborating, and is therefore presented with the 2022 Artist of the Year Award dated the 18th day of August, 2022. In addition to the certificate, Mildor has been presented with a $1,000 check from the Darryl Chappell Foundation to use as he sees fit. Congratulations, Mildor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow. Thank you, Darryl, and thank you, the Darryl Chappell Foundation. Thank you, everyone, who take part of this Saturday to be here with us and celebrate art. And so I remember back in 2020, in the middle of pandemic, and my first conversation with Darryl, and there were two things that caught my attention and kept my interest. One of them was, the idea of helping artists, Afro-descendant artists, to achieve their highest potential, and creating different platforms that artists, not only for artists, but anyone who is interested in art and who want to learn more about art. So I think it's very important in these days, and I'm really proud to be part of that, and at the same time really humble to accept this recognition. And so I remember saying to Darryl, to me, that's beyond a foundation. It's like a movement, and I still believe the same thing. And I'm really proud to be part of that. So thank you, everyone, and way to go. Thank you, Darryl. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations, Mildor. That's really exciting. We're all very happy and proud of you. So this is so dope. I'm so excited to spend the Saturday of like-minded people who appreciate art and want to support it. We would like to thank all of the supporters who support the foundation. But I know you've heard a lot from us. You've heard from some of the artists and the founder, my Uncle Darryl. We definitely want to hear from you. I would say if you appreciate art and love art, show us your action with a hands up emoji or your emoji of preference. And I see some things going on in the chat, but we really need you to support the artists. As you know, everything does cost a pretty penny. So if you do really want to support the artists, we're currently seeking to raise $25,000, which will provide resources for artists to work on commissioned public art. Moses and Darryl will be dropping a link to donate in the chat. Please check that out. Again, definitely show your support by checking that link out. And we really thank everyone for coming out and really appreciate it. And again, so honored to be a part of it. And congratulations to everyone who was honored today. And I believe that is our show, folks. I would encourage everyone to, again, donate. Again, I can't thank everyone enough for coming out. And if you aren't following the Darryl Chappell Foundation on social media, definitely follow them on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, just to stay connected with the work. And everyone have a very safe and fun and hopefully art-infused weekend.